Here.
Janeski, Lynn.
Here.
Ludwig.
Here.
Plattner, Smith, Woodard.
Here.
Pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Any public comment tonight? I don't think so, right? Okay, has everyone had an opportunity to look at the consent agenda? Any questions? Okay, we need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Motion by Woodard, seconded by Lynn, to approve the consent agenda items as submitted. Hicks,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Woodard.
Yes.
Motion carried by roll call vote 1.
Do we have any requests for your requests? No, no request. And no one here from the Education Association? Boy, going right down this. All right. Board committee reports?
No committees met this past month.
Okay, none. Okay, now, the administrative report.
Can I start?
Yes.
Thank you. All right. Well, just a few things I want to point out for you tonight. Tomorrow, we'll be putting out the summer July back to school registration newsletter. So you'll get an email copy of that. We'll get it out on social media and that type of thing. So that's tomorrow. First day of school, August 14th. Only 1 year of Teacher Institute at the front of the year this year. Then we'll have school on day 2. So I want to point that out to you. You've had a chance to, you've already approved the treasurer's report. Just want to thank Dinah for that. She's here tonight. She does a lot of hard work on that, bringing that together. This is a really important one because this is the end of the year one and helps us to know how we start our next fiscal year. So take a look through that. Fund balance is in a good place. Been a good year for us and serving our kids. Want to let you know that we are working with BASE, one of our educational partners, of Vermilion Association for Special Education. And one of the things that we're working on there is we have identified a need for some additional mental health and social work for our kids. And so we are looking for doing a realignment. We're wanting to add in a pre-K through 4 mental health social worker person through BASE that they would hire, and then they would serve us here. And that will help us to focus on our kiddos that are coming in. And then we would then transition Lacey Pribble for grades 5 through 8. And that would allow us to take Marcy Nickerson and shift her to the high school only. So if we could do that, that would really strengthen us in terms of meeting some of the social and emotional needs of our kids. So I wanted to let you know that's something that we're working on. We don't have it finalized yet, but I think we'll get that secured here probably by next week. Okay. So that's a good thing. Wanted to let you know that in terms of finances, the legislature passed a bill. It's now a law that the competitive bidding for threshold, basically anytime you're going for, you're wanting to do some bidding for something that in the past has always been $25,000 or more, you have to put it out for bid by law. They've raised that threshold due to inflation. Which actually helps us as schools, and they've raised that to $35,000 starting in 2024. So just information to know as you move forward with different types of bidding and purchases. I want to thank Shannon Wallace. We have finished our transportation claim. I've never been in a district that has finished a transportation claim in July before. She's done some amazing work, and our consultant, Jim Lovelace, has been here with us again. And those two working together have identified some ways that we can move some things out of, say, O&M over to the transportation fund that will allow us, we're still paying the same amount, but it will allow us through transportation to actually get some reimbursement depending on the nature of what it is. It's part of the, well, if it's a facility thing, for example, we're doing some work on our grade school pavement and resealing that. We're able to take that out of transportation because our buses use that area, so we can tie it into transportation. And then that allows us to then claim it for reimbursement money from the state. So if you just take it out on O&M, you pay it, you don't get it back. So Mr. Lovelace has been a real help for us with his transportation audit. So I wanted to thank Shannon for that. And so we're kind of shifting our philosophy a little bit, how we can benefit from some of the things we're learning in the transportation claim that will help us financially. We also have learned through the transportation claim the cost to the district that hurts us a little bit with our transportation claim for field trips that are not educational related, following those guidelines. You know, for example, if you're just taking kids to go to the park to go swimming, that's not considered educational unless they were getting swimming lessons, I guess, or something. And so it really hurts us on the transportation claim. It brings us down. So we're trying to put together some guidelines after his audit to try to help us with the procedures and how we identify, is this field trip educational? And then if so, then we can move it forward. If it's not, we really are going to have a hard time saying yes to it unless it's really something that's valued by the district. So trying to collect that information now to help us. You know, for example, if given the expenses, if it's a non-reimbursable trip, meaning not educational, if that trip was 100 miles, when you factor in all of the cost of the district, you can't get reimbursed for it. And for a 100-mile trip, that would be about a $2,000 cost to the district that day. If you do 10 trips at just 100 miles, you can see how that is a heavy cost that we can't claim. So that's what we're looking into right now. And I'm going to be working with the principals and our new transportation director on that to see if we can try to squeeze this down a little bit with our procedures. So we're going to do a little bit of a field trip audit this year. Okay. Also, at the last meeting, there was some conversation about dual credit and Danville Area Community College and those types of things. And so I'm in the process of working with, I have a meeting tomorrow with Danville Area Community College. We have a lot of students that go out to DAC for vocational things. We talked about that last month. And so what I'm looking at is that I didn't realize that in our high school handbook and our policies in the past, we've not paid a lot. We've not paid tuition for those that are taking dual credit courses that are non-vocational. They've had to pay those on their own. Now, when I look at the spreadsheet of all the kids that we have, and this has evolved over the years because College Express just came to be about 15 years ago. So I've been researching the history. I'm working with DAC, and long story short, what I'm trying to find out is that why not, if we've got a student that wants to take a dual credit class, why would we not help them with their tuition? Just like we would someone who's taking a vocational class. You know, the difference is one's moving in the area of a trade that could get licensed, certified, and hopefully placed in a manufacturing job, which we need. Why is it not also important to try to help the student who maybe wants to go to the U of I to get that degree to do something? So I'm working with DAC to find a way that we could do that for those kids as well. To give you an idea numerically, we already pay for, right now we've got 35 students that are enrolled in vocational educational classes at DAC. 35 students. We pay that, all the high schools pay a certain amount of tuition for that based on the number of kids that you have. We budget for that. We have forever. Okay. But right now we've got approximately 10 students in our high school that are interested in taking the dual credit course at DAC. That's not vocational. So I'd like to pull them into that. The other thing that we've learned through this transportation audit is that if we were to go back to transporting, providing a bus for these kids, not requiring them to ride the bus, but providing that opportunity, we would be able to use those miles as reimbursable miles for the district because that is education. And we had done that in the past, but when COVID hit and everything was kind of spinning, we pulled back on that. We've not taken that step forward again. I wanted to know a little bit more of the financial impact, because what was happening was at that time, you'd have maybe 30 kids signed up and 7 kids were riding a yellow bus. It was hard to kind of justify, but Mr. Lovelace has showed us how, listen, whether it's 1 kid or 40 kids, you're going to get the same miles reimbursed to you. So we're planning to have a College Express DAC bus for those kids and for dual credit. So I just want to kind of give you an idea about that. And so we're going to work through the procedures on that.
That might be a stumbling block for some kids not to go because they
Yes.
don't have transportation.
Exactly. Some have a hardship. And it's not like we're right next door. It's a little bit of a travel.
Right.
And
We
think
used to have
about
it
that winter.
mandatory that they had to ride the bus.
did you?
Yes, for years and years and
Okay.
years. Yeah. If you didn't ride the bus, you didn't go.
Okay.
Unless you could prove that you had a job in town that instead of going all the way back and coming back, you could drive and go to your work.
I don't personally, I don't think that's a bad policy. Because if they're driven to take that step to then, and you kind of you got them kind of hostage, you know where they're at.
Well, that's kind of why we did it.
Yeah. and
It's a
So-
safety thing
Yeah.
too. It's really, that would be something really that, as a board, you would want to let me know. I want to provide the bus. I think it's a benefit to the district. It's a benefit for our kids. It's just a matter of, do
Absolutely.
you want that bus required or not?
I think that's something that you would talk to Mrs. Smith about, Mr. Steele about too, and get their input, how they feel about that.
Okay.
I'm sure you would.
This is something that I feel strongly about was, and correct me, please, and I'm just asking because I'm ignorant on this whole fact. But is there a way that we could reimburse our teachers with master's degrees if they would want to teach one of the DACC classes at the high school, that we would make it to where it would be beneficial for the teacher financially?
What
So we
happens
can keep
is,
the kids at
That-
the
We have
school?
done that
That
before.
would pay them.
what happens is, yeah,
What'd you
so
say?
like
What
for our
did-
kids,
We've done that before.
yeah, and if our students.
Does it work?
If our students
Mrs.
take,
Stefan taught, didn't she?
She did, and we've had other teachers that have done it. But like this summer, actually last week, Matt Blair went and took the AP classes, and we paid for that so that he can come back and teach AP English, which we hadn't had before. So depending on really our teachers that are with us at the time who are willing to do that. But we've also shared some of that with DAC, where they've given us the curriculum that we have to teach for that and for it to be, but that teacher's gone. So really it just depends on who we have on staff and then who's willing to do that. But the training and like most of that was paid from DAC, but anything that was needed on our end, we paid out of Title II. So
And we
just
have
make
to
sure-
follow their curriculum.
Yeah, they give us
also.
a binder, and that binder has everything, and
Thank you.
basically a scope and sequence of how it's taught, when it's taught, and then when there's a test that goes with it too, because they would get the
Right.
same test out there. So
Right.
we have done that in the past, but those teachers aren't with us now. But like I said, Matt wanted to teach an AP course, so we did the training for him last week, and then he will come back and it'll be a part of the curriculum.
Do you think we'd have any other teachers who would?
I don't know. It's just one of those things where like if it fits into the schedule and if there's a number of kids to do it.
Mhm.
So Matt teaches sophomores, which made he's able to prep those sophomores for that. You know what I mean? Like, so that was his interest in it. If I'm gonna teach honors,
Is it still that they have to have a master's degree to do?
masters plus 9 credits in the field.
yeah, I was gonna say that is part of it, but I thought they upped it. So maybe it's +9. It used to be just a master, so the +9 might be that extra piece that goes with it. And so I think that like we have helped. I think Joe was one that really could have and just chose
Not
not to do it.
Did-
Wanted the AP, he didn't want the dual credit.
Did Eric?
With geometry.
Yeah.
So we have different, but when people leave, they kind of take that with them. So like if you're a guidance counselor and you're trying to schedule and somebody leaves, then you don't have that. So it's just working with what you have. But like Matt was our focus this year to get him up and going for that. And we have a new English teacher, so maybe that's I mean, we'll talk with her about maybe the dual credit, or because she will have the honors juniors to prep them for, so just, we gotta get everybody in and kind of see what we got.
So
Exciting.
there are a lot of benefits to that. You know, I mean, one is that if we've got a teacher that's got a master's degree and at least 9 credits in the field and content area, for example, say a math teacher, then what would happen is obviously they would be teaching it here in our building, and that would not be a cost or a charge for that because it's happening here.
But there has to be like there has to be a certain number of people, because you can't like take somebody who's got a full caseload and then have a class of 3,
Right.
because then other people aren't. So that figures into the mix as well. And it's something that we planned for the year before and implement the next year, and kind of groom kids
Right.
into whatever we decide to do.
So is the board okay with me continuing to pursue and move forward with the transportation piece and then getting these kids their classes, tuition taken care of? Getting that in the budget?
Yeah.
Okay. To give you an idea too, it looks like that it would be roughly $270 per class that would be, you know, as a cost of the district. But we're yeah, it's like half the tuition is what it ends up being for us. Years ago, it didn't cost us anything, but you know, that has to take care of their budgets too. So anyway, I'll be meeting with them. I'm gonna keep moving forward with this. I'll have an update for you in August. And
I don't know at what age, but at what point they can start with the DAC Foundation, the scholarships. That is phenomenal. And most generally, every student that applies for the scholarship gets at least a little help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, if they take it on their own, then
yeah,
their junior college is the first 2 years is relatively inexpensive for them.
Yeah, it's a real benefit. So good partnership, but kind of want to take a step forward. Want to make sure that you all are okay with me continuing to move that direction. So, some other notes, just to follow up. I did put out the request for qualifications for a architect for a school district. Not received anything new, so I have nothing new to report. We're just moving through the timeline. Those requests are due on July 31st. I know we'll at least have one from BLDB. I did have a conversation with them on the phone, so I'll keep you posted on that. But just so you know, I mean, one of the things that we'll need to do is to have some interviews, and I put that in my report there, and I've got a date there on August the 9th where we would probably want to have a special meeting for them to come in and present to the board so you can ask questions. Okay. School finance, tax settlement payment. We got one of our payments, which is great news. We received a reimbursement of a little over $11,000 from our insurance for workman's comp. That's not just us, that's basically everybody in the pool. So that's a good thing. We get those pretty regularly. We've got our audit coming up financially on the week of August 21st. I do basically have the tentative budget done for FY24. Want to look through it a little bit more, and then I'll get that moved out, and I'll share it with you at least at the next meeting. Then we'll look to have a hearing in September and go from there. So a little bit about that. Let's see here. School board policy, we'll have that tonight. I'll talk more about that later. District handbook. Base law, I would say that it would be good for you. I put that in your board package just so you're aware of it. This is new. And what we're doing with it is that we're set up with Bushu Human Resources, who are basically helping school districts to facilitate this because it's a mountain of a situation that you have to work through. But we are in place, procedures are moving, and we're compliant. So that's what we're doing. Let's see, joint annual conference information there for you. I wanted to let you know in terms of personnel, we had hired Madison Lee for a long-term substitute teacher at our last meeting for 7th grade science. And so since then, I've been in conversation with Aaron Hurd at the regional office. We found out that there is a new opportunity that we weren't aware of through the State Board of Ed, because she has a bachelor's degree in biology, which is the content area. we're able to work her through a program of mentoring that allows her to be able to be a licensed teacher as long as we fulfill our responsibilities of a mentoring program. So Nicole Pennis, myself, we're all working on that. So next month, we will be recommending her transitioning from long-term sub to a full-time licensed teacher in that role, which has been our goal anyway. So that's really good. I appreciate the regional office for helping us out with that. So in terms of vacancies, since some of our principals are on vacation tonight, I'll just touch base. Really, the biggest thing on our list is band and chorus teacher, grade 7 through 12. A lot of school districts are empty, and we're one of those. No applicants. I'm not really sure what we're going to do yet. We're trying to figure it out. Talking to some people, but doing some recruiting. People that maybe are in other regions that may want to come back home to Central Illinois. We're pounding the rock. I don't have any answers yet, but I just want you to know that that's probably the one I'm most concerned about for us, because it's important and they're just not out there right now. We will probably be filling that pre-K, preschool teacher's aide at the next meeting, I anticipate. We've filled our high school positions, long-term subs. We got a couple coaching positions there. We're in a pretty good place. I had a meeting this past week at the ROE with all the superintendents, and I'm pretty thankful that we're where we're at. Credit goes to the principals for all the work that you're doing to recruit, fill our vacancies. So thank you for that. We have posted, as you know, last year we had the dedicated substitute teacher position that basically showed up every day at the grade school, and then we moved them around, and that helped us. We paid a little bit more for that. We've got 2 dedicated sub positions out there right now for the grade school. I want to talk to Erin Smith, see if she's in need of one at the high school. In the past, the high school principal wasn't sure that was needed, but I've got a new principal. I want to talk to her, see if that's something that we would benefit from. So we've got that moving. I'll be working and presenting to you in the future. One of the benefits of our district is that we have a State Board of Education district tuition waiver for full-time employees. That needs to be renewed this fall. That requires a public hearing. That's been a great benefit for us. We've got people that come to our district. They want their kids to come to the district, and that's a good thing to have. So I'll be recommending that we redo that. I believe it's a 3-year renewal. So does that make sense for what that is exactly, the tuition waiver for personnel, full-time people coming in on the kids? Okay. So obviously it's not something we've talked about 4 years, so just didn't want to make an assumption there. Mr. Siddons on vacation today, tomorrow, Friday. High school gym floor is completed. Looks amazing. The courtyard playground, the next phase of that will be completed, I'm told, tomorrow. Everything is in place that we have allocated funds for. We're just waiting for a rubber compound to come around the 2 inclusive pieces of equipment for all students. So that'll look nice. The courtyard looks really nice. So we'll get a chance to maybe tour that sometime soon. Custodians doing a great job of getting our buildings and our classrooms ready, waxing, cleaning, all those things. Parking lot at the grade school is scheduled to be sealed later this month. We had some high school storm damage, like most people. We've been in contact with the insurance. We had some tree limbs fall on from the band room, that back stairwell, that tore things up pretty good. So, and we've got some trees that are pretty damaged down the hill there where we do some parking for games. So
People were working there today.
Yeah.
yeah, so we're going to need to remove those trees down there because they're going to be a safety hazard. And that's probably around $5,000 to remove all those trees, but just to give you an idea down the hill there. And then we pay a $2,500 deductible, and that band room stairwell is going to get replaced in a part of the roof there. So insurance is going to help us with that. So a lot of things going on. It's summer for some, but it's busy for us. I think the last thing that I wanted to mention, if I could, is just an update on the land acquisition. I don't have any new information from our last meeting, but I do anticipate that at the August 16th meeting that there will be an agreement that will be in front of us to make a decision about whether we would want to step forward and commit to this agreement of the land that we've been looking at, or if it's something that the board does not want to do. So I'm waiting to get the revised agreement. As soon as I get that, I will send it to you so that you'll have it. But I just want to give you a heads up. We talked about it at the last meeting. We thought it might be this meeting. It's pushed back to August 16th. So that will be an important time. And that'll help me a little bit with the budget because in anticipation of expense, there will be a transfer of money out of the O&M fund, or out of the ed fund to the O&M fund to make that purchase. So a lot of information. Thank you for bearing with me on all that. Everything else I think will come later. So, you have any questions for me?
Any questions?
No, I would add that, haven't forgotten about the track, but with everything happening, Darren Owens is an integral part to make sure that happens. He says next week now, but he says it's in the plan. He guarantees it'll be done before the start of school. So, I would have, I hope it is. So,
We just
it's
appreciate
been, it just keeps getting delayed and delayed and delayed. So it's, I hate to keep sending it out every week to you and say, hey, no update here. That's been without.
We appreciate it. We know that they're busy. We appreciate they're giving a lot to the district. So we want to be thankful for that.
Okay. Mrs. Kimber.
Well, July is the busiest time because we're posting up all the grants and then we're rewriting the new grants. So I'm draining budgets and balancing budgets and writing new grants. And so I just spent a lot of money this month and balanced a lot, but it's just the changeover. It's just kind of ending one and starting the other. The teacher vacancy grant, I did put some things together for that. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's going to be so hard to spend $185,000. And so I did my budget and then I was over 200. So like I apparently have enough stuff to spend on it. So I wrote it up and then I sent it out to administrators and to the union to take a look at. And basically it's what we can do to recruit, promote, and retain our teachers. And I really put a focus on retain because we are pretty full compared to other school districts. I know we don't have band, which scares me, but like we are sitting pretty well. So I need to not only get these people in, but have them stay and support them and support the teachers that we do have because I want them to stay as well. So just some different things, a variety of things. Probably the big ticket item is I think when a person comes to the high school to interview and they go in that office, that is like straight out of the 50s. Like really, there has been nothing. Look at me, Brenda. There has been nothing done to that office.
Tim did a little.
There's been nothing done to the office.
He moved the desk.
He did, but that was it. So if I have somebody coming in to interview, I want them to, you know what I mean? If they need to come into something and that back room where we interview, it just, like I said, there's never money to update something like that. They may tell me no, and that's fine. They can tell me no. They probably going to tell me no on half the stuff I ask for, but I'm going to ask for it anyway because it's what we need and what we need for teachers and everything else. So anyway, I would like to upgrade the high school office conference room, that whole thing in there, and maybe some new flooring at the grade school because of the carpet with sickness and everything else that's in that office. So I would like to upgrade that a little bit. So those were kind of our big ticket items. Both Nicole Lapinus and Aaron on the same day sent me something about the wraps. You know what I'm talking about? That can go on the windows that have like that the colors that you can see out, but
Mhm.
so like for a cafeteria, our doors to go into the gym, that kind of stuff. So I kind of got an estimate on that. So for the grade school and for the high school to update the outside a little bit with some color. And I know that we are working on like a logo for the district, and hopefully that can play a part into that. So that was another big thing. But for teachers, anything from we talked about possibly paying for their lunches in the cafeteria. So like when they come in to interview, that we will provide a lunch for you every day, and that can be paid for out of the grant. We can also do, I would like to do shirts for them where the district pays for, like just different things to feel appreciated, because we do appreciate them. And everybody who stays, I want them to continue to stay, and I like just support them and everything else. For the new teachers, I asked for like maybe some like, when we have the new teacher meeting, I always give them like a little basket of things, but maybe go like a little above, maybe with apparel and some things like that. And then I provide a mentor where we actually pay the mentor for that. We have a program, it's just not as official. And I thought, I really don't want to make it official without compensating them for that, including how often they would meet and things like that. So it's been a fun grant to write, and I don't want to get too excited about it because we're just going in blind and they could turn down half of it, but I want to shoot for what we want, what we need, and then see what happens. So
Good.
That's about it.
That's it.
That's it.
Thank you. Mr. Steele, you want to take both positions there since Mrs. Smith's on?
Well, I did talk to Ms. Smith, and she did not have anything for me to report.
Okay.
I'm guessing maybe she did submit something.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Okay. I also submitted something from the athletic director report as well. Some of these things have been updated since I sent it last Friday. So I just kind of went down through all the sports for the fall. And first off, cross country, I actually did meet with Coach Mills, who's a teacher at Salt Fork. She's our head coach for the co-op between Salt Fork and Oakwood. We discussed the upcoming season in regards, we actually met yesterday, in regards to our schedule this season, our bus transportation, rosters. She's going to give me a roster here soon. Also, there is a scheduled meeting tomorrow for the team at Oakwood Grade School underneath the pavilion. So I plan on attending that as well and just making sure things run smoothly, meeting some of the athletes and everything. So she's going to have a parent meeting there with the athletes, and they're going to have a practice run after that. But the first meet of the season is coming up Saturday, August 26th at St. Thomas More. Golf, I've been working on our Ring 5 Scramble, which will take place August 10th. Thursday will be the first match of the season at Harrison Park. Lucas Huschauer, who's our new golf coach, he's met with me a few times. We've communicated through the upcoming season, finalizing rosters, transportation, and any needs for the team. We're still looking for an assistant coach. He's had one or two people he's contacted, but it just doesn't work with schedules, so we still have that out. Lyle Hitz, the former coach, has been a great help. I talked to him a few times just about, some things of what to do and what to look for. Football, the first game is August 25th. It's actually at Moments. Coach Lee and I have met and discussed football programs expectations along with some program needs. We've also discussed rosters, equipment, and for the team to get together and do some locker room cleanup and do some organization around there. The first soccer match of the season will be on Monday, August 21st. Oakwood's going to host St. Joseph. Coach Ben and I have met. We've discussed the upcoming season, expectations, facilities, equipment, and transportation, which I do give him a huge shout out because he organized a proposed bus time that would be split between us and Salt Fork. So that was really nice. He also has mentioned to me about a possible scoreboard. He did talk about how we're the only team in conference without a scoreboard. He's not looking for much. We did look a little bit and talk about what he has in his budget, what maybe we could do. But he said last year that they tried to go way above and beyond. And really, he's like, that's not really needed. We just need something. And I'd like to talk about that, but it may not be this year, but hopefully in the future we can get something like that. Volleyball, first match of the season is going to be Monday, August 21st. We'll be traveling to Leroy. I met with Coach Anderson a few times around the building, including meeting with some of the players in the weight room. We've discussed the state of the program, expectations, facility use. They, of course, were the first one to be on the gym floor, and they've been practicing, and they're hosting a camp next week for high school and also grades 4 through 8. And then we're just finalizing right now transportation needs. I'm checking with some other ADs about, if they're going to have freshman teams, so we know when to leave and whatnot. Some other things, facilities. Ms. Smith and I toured the high school and checked out facilities at the end of May into June when with Mr. Odell. We've checked out the soccer facilities, the baseball fields, on the softball fields. The gym, like I said, the gymnasium floor is just being finalized. They were out the first week of July putting away equipment, doing final cleanup. And like I said, we just started doing some practicing on that on the floor. When it comes to storage, Ms. Smith and I have had a few ideas for uniform storage. I know the coaches are responsible for collecting the athletes' uniforms, which is fine. But I was thinking about trying to designate a room where we can store all the uniforms together. We can have a little inventory. Ms. Kimbrough has been helpful in finding some storage compartments, which they haven't been moved to the high school yet, which that's fine. We're still kind of discussing where to have that. Transportation, I'm currently finalizing a draft of away game bus departure times. I've reached out to Dustin Dees, athletic director at Salt Fort, and understanding how the co-op works with transportation. There's a few things being finalized, but I should get that done hopefully by Friday. And then any meetings, the Gatorade game is scheduled for Friday, August 18th at Oakwood High School. I've reached out to President Harlan Freeman. I've talked to him on the phone, and I do plan on stopping by Oakwood's men's club meeting August 3rd to introduce myself and talk about the goal, which being the men's club, which sponsors the Gatorade game, prepare food, etc. And there'll be more information after the 3rd of that, which I know I talked to Mr. Maynard. He was going to come out there with me. That's all I got.
Thank you. Any questions?
I would like to ask, did we talk about a scoreboard? I recall us having this discussion. Where did we end?
We did. We received a scoreboard proposal that Mr. Shelton had worked on. I have it in a folder. That came in at pretty expensive, but we were going to get they were going to be kind to us, but it was still going to be pretty expensive. I'm thinking it was around $30,000 off the top of my head.
It was.
About right, yeah.
I remember right. So what happened was that was kind of at the same time when we were exploring some land opportunities. We weren't really sure maybe exactly where our soccer field would be. So I've got that in a folder. We're kind of holding on that until we know more in the days to come here.
I mean, this is something that can be moved just if need be.
Yeah.
The scoreboard.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think in the next couple of months, we'll probably know a little bit more, but I would be interested in knowing, you're talking about Mr. Fenton scoreboard thing. I'd be interested in bringing to me what it is you guys are looking at.
Yeah, it was not nearly that expensive. And really, Mr. Fenton is not demanding anything real high caliber.
Right.
He just wanted something there. And I've seen some things. I mean, being from St. Joe, I've seen their scoreboard, nothing real fancy. I'm thinking $5-6 grand maybe. I mean, nothing.
We could definitely work that in.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
something
30,000.
Something not so small that you can't see across the field the store is at the time. But we don't need anything gigantic either. But I'm just looking at something for him.
Could you get something to me within the next week or so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that would help.
And that's something that we try to put in digital equity and I got a knife for.
We did.
But it was 30,000. I think that was what the quote I got.
Was that Watchfire?
I think it was. Yes. Yeah.
Aaron, Mrs. Smith and I have actually talked about that after I met with Coach Fenton. we did look on one site. I can't remember what it was. What was the one you just said?
Watchfire.
It might have been that. And some of their prices were pretty extreme, but then we started looking at Amazon, and I know, it's Amazon, but it wasn't, we found some things that could be suitable, at least for the time being.
Is it the Daytonics or Daytonic?
Dectronics and
Dectronics.
Nepco.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nepco, because we've bought from them before.
Okay.
I think that's where the football came from.
I just feel like the soccer team needs something.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
think we all agreed it should, and then we had
Now, he did
a
say,
change, so.
he did tell me that he would prefer just a nice, flat, solid field to a scoreboard. He said that is the priority, but he would love to.
Is the field still nice and flat?
I think so. He said that it's kind of tricky with watering it, because of where the hoses are and where you got to bring things out. He said that can be tricky. He would love for it to be just, rolled and watered on a regular basis if possible.
I think that could
You
be
know,
done pretty reasonably.
I'm glad you're saying that because I remember in a board meeting several months ago where somebody said, well, we used the fertilizer for the football field this year. Next year soccer gets it, or somewhere. It was
Back and forth.
either or, and I'm sitting there thinking, that's really no way to do it. I mean, either take care of what you got or so I do notice and you do the budget, you know it better than, but we had fertilized one, but not the other. And I thought that's,
He mentioned that the condition of the field has been better now than it has in a while. Same with
so you
football.
probably got the fertilizer. Right.
We're doing, we're doing both fields.
Good.
It looks
good,
like we're
okay.
able to do both fields for preventative maintenance treatments at around 3,000 a piece,
Perfect.
if I remember right, but we got that budgeted.
Well, I know I've looked at, and it doesn't necessarily matter with wins and losses, but I do know that Coach Finn's had a pretty successful program and he's done really well. And he's also seems to be very easy to work with and communicative. And I don't know. I can definitely talk to Mrs. Smith again and talk about what sites we looked at with the scoreboard.
Yeah, Dectronics and
Nepco.
Nepco are two other good companies as well, just to get some ideas.
Okay.
I think we've worked with both of those companies in the past. So, yeah. Yeah.
I know. No, we were like kind of grasping at straws.
Anything else?
Awesome.
Thank you, Jen.
I've got a question, and this is probably not the time because we don't have all the principals here.
You're gonna ask it anyway.
You bet.
Yeah.
Because I think we ought to put it on the agenda for next week, is that she did put in a board report that we were 50% fail rates in our freshman class. And that's the same as what it was the year before. And we fixed the junior high to get these people more ready for high school. But I don't know if that's really it. But one of the things we do at Oakwood that other people don't do, that I think hurts our kids, is this one and done. You fail a class, and if you're failing a class, you're done. You're not playing.
Oh, you're talking athletics.
Oh,
Well,
they
no,
don't pass the
I'm
play
talking
or-
about, Brenda, I'm talking about extracurricular.
Oh, okay.
You're one extracurricular and you're failing something, you can't do it. And there are sports, baseball, I'm pretty sure, that if you fail, if you're failing one, you're done. Even if you bring it up and you pass it, you're done. Now, maybe it's because the baseball season's too short, but I've had so many parents come to me and complain about this fail that nobody else in the county has as strict as we do. And it's not that our kids are worse, because obviously our Scholastic Bowl and Heart and all the things we compete in, we're pretty competitive. So did we not prepare them to go to high school, which I don't think is the case necessarily. Are we too strict?
the way we grade, which I don't know that either. But the one thing that's not working is these guys have so many mentors out there that they could be going to after school for football practice, whether it's Cameron, Parker, and wrestling. All these people, those mentoring people, they're better off going to them and practicing than they are getting in a car and taking off, because they're not gonna go home and study. And we need to bring those kids back in. And once they fail, then if they're done for the year, then I feel like we increased the chance that those people are not going to get any better. So what I would like us to do, since it was on this board policies and updates, is to really look at this to see, because quite frankly, I would rather see these people, rather than going back to home where they may not have the best of lives, I'd rather see them underneath our staff and our people, trying to help them and encouraging them to get better, than have them go some this, go. So.
How long ago did we change that?
I think it's
remember
been
it.
changed since I've left too.
We haven't changed anything since I've been here.
No, it's been a while.
So you're talking-
5 years.
You're talking about eligibility when
Yes,
eligibility.
no pass, no
And it's
play.
for all scholastics. I'm not just talking, I mean,
It's the difference between passing 4 and failing 1. I
right.
mean, I think that's the
Yes,
difference
that's-
between the two.
yes.
Yeah, and the other county schools are, these
It's
people
a
are.
pass 4 in most of them. It
Okay.
is, and ours is a failed 1.
I do know, Mrs. Smith and I have talked about that. She has collected a lot of data about failing students.
I
And
read that.
one of the things we've been looking at is some interventions and getting those students extra help in the classroom. And trying, I don't know if you call it the high school level RTI. I don't think that's necessarily the term. But we're looking at trying to find time for those students to get some help so that they perform better.
Because I think what the grades go, I think Project Success really helps these kids when they get to high school, and then they get a mentor and get some people around them, and they say, "No, you're done. You're not playing anymore."
But they don't go to Project Success. You look in there,
They could.
They have the
They
opportunity, right?
absolutely-
But they just-
they have the,
There's usually 4, maybe 2 or 3 students. There's usually.
but
one
it's
teacher that-
before school to accommodate those that would have practice afterwards. So it's the hour before.
They have the
and
opportunity.
They have the opportunity to go. They just choose not to go.
But if they're already failing,
Yeah,
and
I see
you're
what you
not
mean.
gonna
It's
get
kind
it.
of like two different
you're not
things.
going to get anything. So why should I go now? It's too late.
Perhaps we should do something where if you are, and I don't know, maybe we already had something like this. Maybe we do something where if you are failing, you are mandated to go to this, I don't know.
No, I think you're right on track. I agree. I'll have it on the agenda to talk about the extracurricular policy of no pass, no play, and looking at that. We need to make sure that Erin knows so that she's prepared along with you to talk about it. But with what you're saying, years ago, I used to run as a principal. I ran I called it ASAP, After School Assistance Program.
I did a thing like that too. We call it homework club.
Yeah.
We didn't want to call it detention or like something that's
Yeah.
negative, but yeah, it's something to get
Yeah, it
extra
was an
help.
After School Assistance Program, and we focused on math and English.
Yeah.
So, if we need to collaborate on something like that, moving forward to our high school, I'd love the conversation.
Do we happen to know, like, what was the highest, I guess, what class was it that most of the kids were?
Math.
Math, okay.
And we have done some work with math, and that's been our focus this summer. And Erin and I have talked, and Dawn and I talked about it before she went out. It just some changes need to be made with that, and that transition piece with 7th and 8th grade going in, and curriculum, because we had some doing Go Math, some doing. There was just a lot of different things. So we adopted a program that we can take all the way through. So it starts in kindergarten, it ends with calculus.
Okay.
So, but we're gonna do K through 7 this year. The next year we'll do 8. The next year we'll do algebra. We'll just systematically bring it in so that nobody's just like, okay, now we're taking algebra.
Right.
It's the rigor's a little bit higher, but there's a lot of interventions and it's a better program for our math students. So just last week, the high school math department came out here and we talked about it with the junior high math department. So we're working on that piece of it. But a lot of it is just kind of the same theory that if you have so many zeros, then it's just like you're done. Well, then if you're done, then you're not doing the rest of it. So then when you go to do it again, it is stopping. The same thing with sports. You know what I mean? Like, well, I'm done. If I'm off and I'm done. It's same thing with grades. I got 5 zeros in a row. I can't dig myself out of it. I'm done.
Yes.
So that is what we're addressing and trying to figure out a math program that's a little bit more systematic. So it's consistent. The language is the same, the way they do things, the videos. So like the new program now, if you're at home working on math and you don't know it, there's a video that is an instructor that you can access at any time. The other piece of it is if you still don't get it, there's 24/7, there's a person that you can chat with to ask them or to explain it. So it's just trying to give them more resources. Now, can I get them to use it? No, but you can, you know what I mean? But if they're still in sports and they need the extra help and they, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I think that's the problem. When they're down, they don't know how to get back up when they're, and so it's been a discussion, right? Erin and I have already had that, but Dawn and I had that too. So like,
It's been a long
Yeah.
time.
and it's a lot of it is.
And you have to also watch your HSA and their policy, and because they have a policy also. So
Eligibility policy, yes. they do.
Yes.
yeah, so you have to watch that one too, to be sure you're.
But I think what you were saying, you make a good point. I think when you said like once they're kicked off the team after
Mhm.
a very quick time, they go and, maybe it's something where, sports drives them and motivates them.
Right.
They need that in their lives. And like you said, you'd rather be under,
They probably need that coach.
sure,
And they just need somebody that cares.
Yeah.
Because obviously the fear is they're just gonna, at 3 o'clock, they're gonna jump in a car and go somewhere. It's not gonna be to go home and study. So,
We're gonna fill that time with something, and sometimes it's not positive.
yes.
Yeah.
All right, sorry for.
Oh, that's a good discussion. Good discussion. Okay. Hi, Mrs. Johnson.
I was looking at Nicole Lopez gave me her board report and I was looking through it and we kind of like not intentionally talked about kind of the same things. So one thing she did do is she put out we have so many new staff members that on Facebook, if you check it out, all the new staff I think have been posted now. She picked a couple a day. So all the new staff have been highlighted on Facebook and Class Dojo. Again, she wanted to thank the custodians. They've done amazing. They've been putting up with me. That should be enough. And then she put on here about registration coming up and new staff has been added to the School Guard app. And then the rest of it is kind of a repeat of what I put. So in my board report, I just kind of put some athletic things that I was working on over the summer. I think my main goal is for everybody to feel like it is one building and it's part of K through 8. We're not 2 separate buildings. The door doesn't need to be shut. So we did first and foremost got, if you come into town, Nathan Young's sign should be coming to town. So we wanted to celebrate that. And we did get all the plaques and trophies from the old junior high down and got them into the trophy cases in grade schools. So there are as many trophies as we could possibly put in there with some, we found some diamond shirts and tried to really like consolidate some vintage things into the trophy cases. So when people come, they can kind of see that. We do have some older uniforms we're going to be selling. We actually sold some in the spring to see how it would go. And we raised $550 by selling uniforms for $5. And I'm talking old uniforms, like the waistbands I couldn't even sell because they were dry rotted. So we've got more to maybe sell during registration and Need the Stars. So that $550 went towards some of the banners that we got. So we're hoping to sell more to replace the banner budget But if you go into the gym, there's a welcome banner, the 3 conference banner. We got record banners for everything. There is an empty spot, just so if your approach cheerleading did not get left out. I just don't know how to write the banner right now because cheerleading doesn't have conference, county, regional, sectional. So I really want to talk to Zoe and be like, how do you want cheerleading to look? Because I don't know. So we're not leaving cheerleaders out, and they know that. So I'm not hurting any feelings. There's also a Comic Crush banner in the gym, but my all-time favorite is when you're going into the gym by the library, by the trophy cases, the track record boards are up and they look amazing. They're my personal favorite. So all the individual track records are out there. And there's also a Scholastic full banner to celebrate athletics or academics farther by the restrooms. So those are something that I was working on all summer. And then we cleaned out Glosser's office, and it's going to be more of like an equipment room. So it is cleaned out. It should be up to code for when people come. Like we're not too much close to the heater, and there was a bunch of stuff we were not really following. So we tried to follow all that we could there and sorted with that. We got $2,400 of new equipment from Donors Choose that got funded very quickly. So very thankful to the community. And then I actually just got an email today. Our 7th and 8th grade basketball uniforms are in from Body and Soul, and I'm going to go pick up those. So I'm really excited to see what those look like. Yeah. And Body and Soul has been amazing. So I would love, like, I think we ordered it 2 weeks ago. We already have them. Like, they've been amazing to work with. John, I think his name is John, and he is just awesome. So that's kind of the sport thing, the sport area. Yesterday we had the softball meeting. So we were there, handed out schedules. The girls start practice on Monday for 7th and 8th grade softball. I think our numbers are going to be fine. I don't think we're going to need to move up anybody for numbers. So I know we had talked about only offering it to 7th and 8th unless numbers arise. The 6th grade basketball meeting with Mr. Hunsberger will be on the 31st, and they can start practice on the 14th. Baseball will be starting the 31st, and I have been working with John to make sure that the field is taken care of. Ryan did get the mule up there, so that should be, I know the weeds right now are dead weeds, but we are working on getting that field together. And we have all the materials ordered for all sports. I'm working on the volleyball order right now, and we should be ordered up to track, meaning game balls, books. We do have to get a new volleyball net for county. We're hosting county at the high school, I believe.
I think Juice has another.
Yeah, she told me that I think we're gonna have to buy a new one with it. She's helping me.
Okay.
Unless you know something different, let me know. I don't have the invoice yet from Ken. I think
Okay.
he took a vacation.
I could have
so-
swore she said that there's another one that she ordered.
Okay, we'll talk.
And she said, well, and she's like, the junior high needs one anyway, so we can have that.
Okay, we'll talk. Because she came in to help me find the model number, so I'll get in touch with her.
And are you talking about middle school volleyball is gonna be at the,
I think we're hosting high school.
okay, I talked to Kyle, and that is gonna be at that.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I actually got an email while I was talking to Jude yesterday, because I asked him about it, because there was a schedule that said about the conference or county tournament,
Mhm.
and it didn't really give us too much detail.
Okay.
It was just on the schedule, and then I emailed him about it, and he said actually DAC they want to host that.
Okay. Well, we'll get that. I know it's on
So-
the facility calendar already, so if you could just let me know.
I'll contact someone over
But I
there.
think we are in need of a new net, so we'll figure out if we're gonna get the old one from the high school or a new one, because I think ours
Yeah.
has holes in it. So that's all been taken care of. And I think I've got a few ups that I need to fill, but other than that, I think we're on the right track. And as for the academic stuff, we did meet for most of I'd say probably 70%, 75% of our staff was here last week for a house rollout. So adopting the house system, where I know Mrs. Lapinus has mentioned it. So we kind of brainstormed ideas. We have scheduled on August 11th that morning. All the teachers are invited in to decorate the hallways. So Michelle's been amazing on making posters and getting them in frames. And we're going to showcase the house system. Our new secretary's photographer, so she's going to take some pictures for us that day or that week to get their pictures up in the hallway. We do have some t-shirts ordered for the kids that have their house, so they can wear them on Fridays. What else here? Oh, we have all their lockers. Chris helped me to get all their lockers assigned in Teacher Ease with their combinations. And we will be giving the students on Meet the Stars night or Meet the Teacher night their locker information schedules house assignments. We're trying to make it a big deal for who their house placement is, and just decorating some bathrooms and making it feel inviting. So that's what we're working on August 11th with the staff. And we're working on schedules. Chris is going to help us get the kids in the teacheries.
Good. Any questions?
No, I will say the sign and going back through history and looking at all this, that really looked neat. I
It
saw a
is
picture
my
on
absolute
Facebook.
favorite.
It solves a lot of problems because Clay Woodard was telling me that it set a lot of track records back.
I know. That, we're just gonna, there were 3 mistakes. It's not Brain James, it's Brian James. So Hall of Fame has got 3 brand new stickers for me when they come in. It's replaced.
Okay, but Lisa, I didn't see Clay's name on it.
I know. Clay.
So he's gonna have to quit telling that story. Pretty funny.
Okay, well, hop all the way down to.
Finalized all the student data for the 22-23 school year this morning. So we're good to go there. Mr. Mayor and I went through the data quality dashboard and we fixed any errors we had, so everything's green. We should be good there. Hopefully our school report card will look good this time. Everything looks great, so we'll see. The other thing is now I'm starting to work on getting the devices finished up and ready to hand out at the beginning of the school year. Just going through them all, cleaning them and fixing them. So that's all I have.
Any questions? Thank you. Thanks to all of you very much. Okay, we'll move on now. We have no reason, right, to go into closed session, Mr. Maynard?
We should not.
Okay. Okay, any old business? Okay. Okay, then we'll be to consideration and action. A is a recommendation to approve the 3-year agreement for a student resource officer with the Village of Oakwood as presented.
Okay, so the update here is that I've got the final language and numbers from the village. We are recommending Mr. Troy Ogren as our student resource officer. We've got a 3-year contract of cost with the village. It will be a $75,000 cost to the school district each of the 3 years, starting with this year. So ask that you would approve that tonight so we can have a student resource officer full-time for the school district for the first time since November of 2021.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Thank you.
Roll call.
Motion by Plattner, seconded by Hicks to approve the 3-year agreement with the Oakwood Village for the school student resource officer as presented. Lynn,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Plattner,
Yes.
Woodard,
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Motion carried by roll call vote 2.
Okay, on to B, recommendation to adopt the Illinois Association of School Board Press Policy of 5-year review updates and policy updates is issued 111 and 112 as presented.
Yes, you've had the information now, so we have to approve the 111 tonight. I'd ask that you approve 112 also, so we can get our board policy updated.
May I have a motion, please?
Make the motion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Motion by Woodard, seconded by Lynn to approve the Illinois Association of School Board Policy updates as presented. Ludwig,
Yes.
Plattner,
Yes.
Woodard,
Yes.
Hicks,
Yes.
Lynn.
Yes.
Motion carried by roll call vote 3.
Oh, C, recommendation to approve Madison Lee and Kelly Howard for the 2 positions of 8th grade sponsor for the 2023-24 school year. They will be on step 1 of the extracurricular pay schedule. Any,
Nicola Pennis and I talked about this. Obviously, she's recommending them. We have, it was kind of a weak spot for us last year with the 8th grade sponsor position of not having, we only had one person, there, I think last year. Wasn't that right?
I stepped up. For the second.
Yeah.
We recruited you in a little bit later. So we're trying to get this solidified to start the school year with our 2 people. And these are the recommended ones.
And then we would like to add, I don't know how to start this. Actually, Mr. Mayor, I didn't know this when I talked to you, but Mr. Steele ran this in St. Joe, so he would be a great talking place. But Nicole and I were talking about 8th grade making a big trip like Lorna did, Anderson before, to either New York or Washington, DC. I have reached out to 2 companies and gotten quotes and information, and this is just in the planning. I just want to know what it looked like. And so this would be something we got through at 8th grade, but like 7th grade can start fundraising this year, you know, and there's a lot of things to do about this. I've never put this on. I have a lot of questions myself, but I'm a go-getter, and I think that this is something that we could offer our students, but I don't know how we go about. So I think Nicole put it on our board report. Do we have permission to maybe survey families, see if they're interested? And then Mr. Steele just told me tonight he ran this in St. Joe.
Oh, good.
So he would be a great resource for us if we have questions. But
And Mrs. Wilson had a blast doing it, so.
yes, but I don't know where to begin with it, but this is just one of my big crazy ideas that I would like to offer to our kids. And I want to go to New York as well. But
Just so you know, when I say weeks about it, it took us a while to get it filled, not because we had it.
oh, no, it's fine. I didn't
Okay.
do, I mean, no, you're fine. I did not take offense to that at
We
all.
recruited you hard.
I just
so.
need to have the Taylor Swift wearing saying, welcome to New York. I just need to go.
Okay. Okay, so do I have a motion?
I'll motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Motion by Hicks, seconded by Lynn, to approve the employment of Madison Lee and Kelly Howard as presented. Plattner,
Yes.
Woodard,
Yes.
Hicks,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Ludwig.
Yes.
Motion carried by roll call vote 4.
Okay, and D, a recommendation to approve Carol Moore for the position of speech coach, 7th and 8th grade, and she will be on step 4 of the extracurricular payment schedule. Any,
Anything you want to
Oh,
add to
do
that?
she would be amazing. She's done this before. Mrs. Moore's amazing at this.
have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, good. Roll.
Motion by Plattner, seconded by Hicks, to approve the employment of Carol Moore as presented. Woodard,
Yes.
Hicks,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Plattner.
Yes.
Motion carried by roll call vote 5.
Okay, and E, recommendation to approve the employment of Stacy Anderson for the position of teaching assistant for the 23-24 school year. She will be on step 1 with an hourly rate of $15.03. Anybody have a comment about that?
I know she has a grandson in the district. That's all. I don't know anyone.
Okay.
That helps. She's vested.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, I believe if it's the same person, I think that's Steve Guthrie, the Guthrie mom. She's worked for us before. Yes, yes.
Oh,
If that
okay,
puts a-
okay.
Puts a name to who she is right now. Remember them?
Yes,
So
uh-huh,
I
yeah,
believe that's who.
okay, sure. Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Motion by Woodard, seconded by Plattner, to approve the employment of Stacy Anderson as presented. Hicks,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Plattner,
Yes.
Woodard.
Yes.
Motion carried by roll call vote 6.
Okay, and for F, we are going to rescind that tonight. Do we have to vote to rescind it or not? Just rescind it?
Just remove it from the
Yeah,
agenda.
just
right?
remove it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, moving on. Any new business?
Just one thing I'd like to mention that I was able to try to set up a meeting with our coaches and athletic directors, some of them with the village, to try to come together to the table to share, what are our interests, what do we need to do to work better together, and all those kinds of things. I know it's hard in the summer. Unfortunately, well, thankfully, all of our people were there, but from the village standpoint, they did send a representative. We weren't able to meet with all the coaches, but Kathy Fritz came. And so really, she just kind of shared with us the vision of the village that I wanted you to be aware of. And that is they are aggressively and actively pursuing land for the park district. So I didn't know if that was known or not, but she shared it with us. It wasn't in anything it was a dialogue, and I just wanted you to be aware of that. So it sounds like that the village as well as the school district are all looking for ways to grow. So that's
And if I
a good thing.
can piggyback on that a little bit, it's called mapping. And I don't know if you're familiar with that at all, but it is people within the community, just not within the city limits of Oakwood, but we'd like to reach out to other people. And this is run through Western Illinois University. And it is to come up with ways and ideas to improve our community, whether it, with the schools, with the community, with building projects, whatever. And, I had never heard of this before. And so we had a Zoom meeting the other evening and met with the lady from professor at Western Illinois University. This program has been used for years. And if any of you are familiar with the Dietrich, Illinois, it's a very small community down by Effingham. They are going through, I believe, their 4th time of doing this. And they get a project and they get it done and they're starting over again. And they've done it for 4 times. And I can't remember all of the places that have done this. And I think it's important for our school and our community to work together on this. So we'll probably be reaching out to some of you to ask if you'd be interested in being involved in this. And we've already set dates. We have not, got people involved in it yet. We've set dates and times of meeting, and it's a commitment. It's about, it's 5 meetings, at least 5 meetings, and 3 hours at a time. And to talk and to break down and decide where we want to go as a community. So our chairman of this entire thing is Casey, what was Casey Wilson, it's Casey Jones now. And she's a go-getter with it too. So just wanted to bring you to update because we're going to start getting the word out here that this is what's going on. So yeah, I'm kind of enthused about it because I like to see progress like that. And the guy I was married to was real interested in that. So yeah, very much so. You know that because your grandfather was right next to him. So yeah. So yeah. Yeah.
So the park, did they indicate, are they wanting the ground to expand the park or to have a 3rd facility, a 3rd park?
Well, I wasn't privy to that meeting, and that's fine. But Kathy sat on my
Can you
front
really
porch
say?
Friday night for about 2 hours.
You can't say. It's
We
fine.
didn't really get into the details of it.
Yeah.
In our conversation, I thought we were going to talk towards in a different direction. So we were kind of just in listening mode there. And so I don't know the details, but I just wanted, as a board, I wanted you to know that.
Well, I think there's lots of things moving. There's lots of moving parts going on right now. And I think that's really good, to have all those things going. So
That was a good meeting. Yeah.
yeah. Any other comments or discussion items anyone would want to bring up?
Yeah.
Bob, is there any other item you want to bring up?
No, Brenda, I'm fine.
You gotta be kidding. Right, you got nothing to say?
I got nothing else to say.
I want you to check the time too, Bob. Okay, yeah.
I had one quick question.
Okay.
Like, was this meeting where Kathy Fritz was the only one that showed up, was that supposed to be with the youth sports programs of the, okay.
Were they
Yeah.
aware?
We were trying to get,
No,
I was like,
oh, I was
think any of
working
them were-
through the village.
I don't
That's what
yeah,
Mayor Wright wanted me to
we
do.
really don't have, the youth programs don't have much connection to the village other than that they use the village park. So
Have you heard the guy that
as an
didn't show
instrumental
up?
person in the Oakwood Youth Football Program, no one made me aware that this meeting was even happening. Had I known, I would have attended.
It was,
It was late, but
they gave me the.
Maybe by 1 or 2 minutes. But they'd have been glad that they waited on me, just like you are every
That's
time I
right.
show
You're
up.
exactly right.
No, I had no.
I
was
didn't
not
even
aware.
know anything about the meeting other than when Kathy told me, which is fine, but it's.
Well,
There was still.
my suggestion would be maybe try it again.
Yeah.
Next time, make sure everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
I think next time I'll probably reach out to you first.
Yeah, you probably
Get
could
some
do that.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second, she beat me.
Just noting.
Oh, noting the next meeting is August 16th at 5:30.
And,
Public hearing on September 20th
yes,
okay,
thank you.
at 5.
Did you say there's gonna be a special meeting August 9th though?
It depends, I guess, on how many architects submit.
Darn it.
Yeah. So, potentially, I would just need to have, if you had to do a special meeting, 4 board members here on the 9th to listen to the architect's presentation.
But if we only get one response to the request for quote, then the purpose of the meeting would be moot, right?
A little bit.
Okay, all right.
So then it would probably just happen at a regular board meeting as a special guest.
I will reserve
I
it.
think you've
for the night,
lost,
just to make
you've
it.
lost them. All right, here we go.
All right.
Motion by
5:30,
Lynn,
right?
seconded by Hicks to adjourn the meeting at 6:41 PM. Lynn,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Plattner,
Yes.
Woodard,
Yes,
Hicks.
Yes.
Motion carried by roll call vote 7.
thank you.